Great. Well, welcome everyone. I just want to welcome everyone to Canva 101 and Katie Bigelow from the Midwest Ohio chapter, former president, right?
Yes. Mhm.
I'm like said former because you have officially rolled over,
Yes.
right?
I am the
Thank
past
you.
president now. Yes.
Vice President. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. If everyone has questions, if you just put them in the chat, and then we'll get to them when we can.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to walk you through Canva. Um, so when you first log into Canva, oops, I'm supposed to be on my homepage. All right. So when you first log into Canva, you're going to see this screen. Is lots of information on here. The first thing I want to guide you to, though, that will help you as you set up your account is the branding over here on the left-hand side. So Canva is free. The Canva Pro is free for nonprofits. There is a document we will share with you that has the instructions on how you can upload like tax documents for your chapter and register your chapter's email in order to access the Canva Pro, which gives you access to everything. And then you can, yeah, use it that way. So for the branding kit, you can set up a branding kit. So I've kind of started one here and I'm going to add a couple more things to it. So you just click on the brand kit. It's nice because you can add our logos, our colors, and our fonts. So that way, whenever you're doing a project, which we're going to go through a project today, whenever you're doing a project, you will have access to all of CISV's brand from the Looking Good guide. And I am going to share that in the chat here in just a moment. Let me hold on. Okay, I will share it at the end, I promise. Just my screen, I'm not a Canva Pro, or I'm sorry, a Zoom Pro. So I'm like trying to remember how to do all the different features with Zoom. So I apologize about that. But I have it on my list to share with you guys, the Looking Good guideline, because that is where you'll find the hex codes for all of the colors. But anyway, I'm going to show you. I've saved some CISV logos to my desktop. And so you can click on Add New and find the file if you have it saved somewhere on your computer. If you haven't, I just have them saved to my desktop here. So I'm just going to drag and drop them to this area and it will automatically upload the logo for us. And it is there ready to go. The other nice thing that Canva will do is it will automatically pick up the colors from your logo and ask if you want to add those to your brand color palette. This is just all blank white, so I don't need to keep it. So I'm just going to hit remove. But that is how you can do. You can, if you do the add new, you can upload logos. So I can go here to my desktop and I can click on the logo and open it that way. And again, it will load it and then it will ask if I want to use this color. This color is actually just slightly different from the blue that we use. I don't know why it's showing up that way. I think Canva's just picking up slightly different on it. But it doesn't exactly match the hex code for our brand. So I'm just going to hit remove on that one. So that is how you can add logos. To access the logos, those are on International's website. You would go to resources and fundraising and profile raising, I believe is the tab. And there you can download all of the logos for USA and JB and your chapters. For colors, I've added almost all of the colors that CISV uses. I saved one so that I could show you guys. So we're going to add the yellow color to our color palette. So you just click add new and it will automatically come up and you just type in the code. So our code for yellow is FFC72C. And then I just click off, or I just click, oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. Oops. I did not mean to add those other ones. You just click off of the part there and it will add that color for you. And so then now we have, these are all the brand colors for CISV. For fonts, you can add all of our fonts. Our fonts are in Canva. So all you have to do is you click on it. For any titles, for any in our projects, if you want to do a title font, you search for the font that you want. Our title font is Overpass. So you search for Overpass and you select it and then you save it. So anytime you want to add a title to a project, it will automatically do it in Overpass for you. Our subtitle font is Source Sans Pro, so I have loaded that in here, and I've added that as a subtitle. So again, it will automatically, whenever I want to add a subtitle text, it will put it in Source Sans Pro, so it is in our branding font. I've done that with all of them. However, with quotes, I wanted to add that to show you. So quotes, the font that is recommended from CISV for quotes is Source Serif Pro. So I am just going to search for that font and it will come up, and I just select it and I'm going to hit save. And then now anytime we want to put a quote into a flyer or any kind of Instagram image, anything that any project we're making, it will automatically then generate it in the correct branding font. Now you do not have to use these fonts specifically, but again, these are our fonts. Oh, thank you for sharing the link there, Amato. Appreciate that. So anytime you can add different fonts and stuff, but these are our official CISV fonts. Okay, so that's the brand kit. I mean, you can add other things to your brand kit other than fonts. You can, I don't know much about their new Magic AI that Canva has. They just came out with it, so I can't talk a whole lot to it. But you can play around with it and see if it's something that aligns to CISV. And maybe if you find something that really aligns and works well with it, maybe you can share it with Laura and she can share it out in her weekly updates. If there are any photos you use regularly, you can drag and drop them here. Any graphics that you use commonly, again, you can add those here. These are things that you want to add that are outside of Canva that you can add in. Otherwise, you can always just look inside Canva for graphics and photos and things like that. These are just things that you want to save that maybe you use regularly. And you can access, you can click along the side here to go to any of these. So you can go back up to colors, or you can jump back down to graphics, but these are all the different things in the brand kit here. So I'm going to go back to brand. And then you can go, actually, hold on one second. So you can share your brand kit with your team. So if you have other accounts shared in your team, you can share this brand kit with them. So I will, down here at the bottom, let me make this big again, sorry, I minimized it. So down here, you can invite members. So you can invite them and they can be a member, an administrator, or a brand designer. I'm just going to select member just for demonstration purposes. And I'm just going to add my personal email, and then I'll get an invitation to join this team if I have a Canva account. And so then I would have access to this brand kit for when I was doing projects as well. So you can share this with other people, other chapters, things like that. So I will go back to home and we're going to walk through a project. So I'm just going to search, we're just going to do an event flyer. So when you go to search, you're going to come up, it's going to give you two options. You can search within your own projects, or you can search their templates. So I'm going to search their templates because I want something new. So I'm going to do an upcoming events flyer is what I'm going to search for. They do have this new Magic AI. So it's kind of like gauging what I have searched for in the past, and it's kind of giving me some possible suggestions for things. It's also giving me some suggestions down here from other things that I might have looked at in the past as far as projects that have been done. But I'm just going to select upcoming events flyers, and it's going to give me all these templates, over 207,000 templates to choose from. So that's a lot of templates. You're going to want to, maybe narrow it down a little bit. So if you have an idea of what you are looking for, you can come to the filters, okay? And you can look at all the filters along the side here. So I usually go for CISV. For me, we're kind of an educational group, but this is kind of more education as long as like teachers in school. So I don't typically use that one. If I'm going to make an Instagram or Facebook post, I'll search those because then that's going to give me the best dimensions, and it won't, when I go to post it on social media, I don't have to like worry about cropping it and making sure everything's going to fit in. It's going to have the right dimensions and proportions for the post. And since with Instagram, you can share on Instagram and connect it to your Facebook, I usually go for the Instagram posts and I search there. And so I'm going to select that filter. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to make it a square format. I'm going to select that. And then I like, you can look at all the different type of styles that you want to do. We'll just do simple for today. We'll select simple. But there are lots and lots of them. I selected the plus sign, so it's giving me all of them. So I apologize about all the scrolling. You can search for certain themes. You can search for any features that they might have. And so there's lots of different filters if you want a certain color scheme, and then you just click apply when you are ready to apply and search for those. So that takes me from 207,000 templates to choose from to now I'm down to 12,000 templates, which is still a lot, but it shortens it down a little bit and can kind of narrow what I'm looking for as far as Instagram. I like the design of this one because I can put like some upcoming events for the chapter. And everything that you see in the template can be changed. Everything is editable. You can change colors, you can add things, you can remove things. So I always look for something that like, oh, I can see like adding our colors and our brand to this event. I can change the fonts. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this and I'm going to select customize this template. If I like this one, I can also see, oh, here's some others that are similar to that and see if, oh, I like those better. If you like maybe the style, like maybe you like this one because it has October. If you have like different months coming up, you can do that. So you can kind of look to see, it'll give you some more similar to that. We'll go ahead. Actually, I kind of like, let's do this one instead. I'm going to customize this one instead. I kind of like that one. That one's fun. I like the style of it. So I clicked customize this template. And this is going to allow me to customize this one now. So hold on, let me just move my little window here over to the side of people. Okay. All right. So to customize, all you have to do is click on what you want to change. So you can leave this font if you like this font. If you want to make it the CISV brand, you would click on the font here. And then up here is going to be your editing bar. So anything that you want to change about it, you find along the top up here. Okay. So if I want to change the font, I would come over here and I would click on font. And then you can scroll down along here to look at fonts. You can search for if there's a specific font that you have used in the past, you can search and see. If you want like a handwriting style font, you can search handwriting. They give you some options of categories that you can search for. However, if you scroll down a little bit though, you will see any recently used fonts, but conveniently you will see your brand kit fonts. So if I want to change it to Overpass, I can just click Overpass and there's my brand font. It has my brand kit right there. So that's the fonts. So I can change the fonts. I can change the color by clicking on text color. And here's the size. You can adjust the size. You can click to make it bigger, click to make it smaller, however you would like it to look. To change the color, you're just going to click on the text color. And again, it's going to give you colors that are already in the template that you can choose from. But again, conveniently, since we have added our brand colors, here are all of CISV's colors. You don't have to look up the hex codes and find them each time. They are conveniently stored in Canva for you. So maybe I want to make this the magenta color. So I'm going to change it to magenta. I can make you can make it just like in Word or other editing programs. You can, make it bold, underline, strike through. You can make it uppercase or lowercase. The position, the alignment, effects. You can click on effects, and this will give you different, like, a shadow. You want to add a shadow, or you can splice. You only can pick one of these styles, though. You cannot pick multiple ones. You can also change the shape if you want it to be more curved. You can make it curved. So there's lots of editing options within it. You can also animate. So if you want it to, you can kind of click or just hold your mouse over to see what the animation would be. Okay. And so it would just do this on a loop for you. Over here, you have transparency, and that's where you can make it, if you don't want it 100%, you can maybe make it 75%. And that is within our brand guidelines, sorry about that, to make the transparency. You can adjust the transparency with our colors. The position, this is where you can layer it over other objects or images in the project. So if you want to have it over top of this little diamond shape, you can tell it to come forward. And now it is layered on top of the diamond shape. So if you, for example, if you add text or if you add an object to your document or to your project and you want it behind another thing, you would click position. And this is where you can arrange it to go just behind something, or you can send it all the way to the back of the document. So like here, I could send all the way to the front, but there's not much underneath there for you to see right now. Maybe let's try this one. This one might be a better one. So I could say, bring that to the front. And now it has covered up, that box has covered up my thing. So I definitely don't want that. If I move it back, you can see there are other layers of individual text that are there that I would be hiding it behind. So I would just want to send it all the way back to the back. Okay, when you add a text box, having trouble moving that text box. Okay, so let's add a text box. Let's add text. So I'll go to text. Again, with our brand kit here, I have our title font, subtitle, heading. Those are all preloaded from what we have. Hold on, Canva. So let's add a heading, and you want to move it. So it's tricky because depending on, it makes it only so big. So you have to get the cursor so it moves to the 4 arrows. And then you can move it wherever you want. If you get in there and it's the cursor to like change the text, it will only like highlight the text for you. So you have to kind of go kind of slowly to find the 4 arrows to be able to move. Oh, my computer's being slow. There we go. Okay. To be able to move that text. So when you see the 4 arrows, you are moving whatever object you have selected. The slider bar on the end here, when you see the 2 arrows go side to side, that is sizing. You can make it longer or shorter. The text, if you want to make it drop down longer, you're just going to hit enter, and that will make it expand down for you. So the only thing that you can really control, like spacing wise, is like the width of it. And then by adding text or things like that, you can add like that. And so you'll, space it out a little bit. Here you can rotate it in a circular motion, and then get it back to, if you can always undo as well. If you don't like something, you can always come up to the undo button and get it back to how you had it. And then this is also moving. You can also use this because again, it is those 4 arrows. And so that means you're able to move it. Up here, because I have drop down, I can expand it this way now. And it will automatically get bigger for me. So the four corners adjust the size, the whole box, and then just the rectangular oval ones here, move it the width back and forth. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna just delete this one. So there's my, okay, gotta click off of it here. Okay, select it like that. I'm gonna delete it. Okay, so that is, we edited some text. Let's add some elements, okay? So over here along our navigation bar over here is initially when you pull up the project, it's gonna give you the design. To add images, they call them elements. So you can add graphics. They have just pre-made shapes that you can do. It will give you your recently used shapes. Again, you can scroll down and see other suggestions. It will give you suggestions based off of what template you are using and what might go well with that template, or what text you have in there. It might recommend certain things. You can add all different kinds of things, but we'll start at the top. We'll just start at the top and we'll look at shapes. So maybe I want to see all the shapes that there are. So there's lines, and then there are all different kinds of just geometric shapes and figures that we could add. So maybe we want to add a speech bubble. You can click on it and it will show up. Or this is the tricky part, is trying to get those 4 arrows to come up. There we go. Okay. Hold on. Sometimes click off of it, click back on it, and then you're good to go. I'm gonna delete that one and I'm going to show you. So you can click on a shape. So if you click on it, it's going to automatically add it to your project, or you can drag it and put it where you would like it. Otherwise, if you click on it, it's going to show up right in the middle of your project. Okay, and so I'm just going to move this over here off of the project. So here I have a new shape, and you will notice that it has automatically used colors from the template that I'm using, and it has made it those colors to go along with it, so I don't have to try to match the colors. Now I can change those colors to a CISV color, to our brand, because again, we have our brand kit there. So we can do that. All right, I'm going to delete that shape though. Okay, so those are shapes. You can search for things. So I'm going to search for a peace sign. So they give you different options. You can search for graphics. You can search for actual photos, videos. They give you frames and audio as well. But we're going to look at the graphics that they've offered us. So I'm going to click see all. And so I'm going to look at the graphics. If I wanted to look at the photos instead, up here under where I searched, I can just click on the photos and it's going to give me photos of peace signs. I can look at any video clips there are of peace signs. So I'm going to go back to the graphics though. And here I can kind of filter. These are some other suggestions. So I can search for, maybe I want more of a hippie peace sign. So I can search that. Now, maybe I don't want the hippie one anymore. That's not what I'm going for. We would come up to the filters and, nope, not there. Sorry. I thought we could, oh, I'm sorry, there, here it is. You would just click the X for, no, you don't want the hippie anymore. However, now you have to go back and search for peace sign again and click on graphics, and then you're back at it. So that is a downfall, unfortunately, but it's okay. It'll be okay. I like this peace sign, so I'm going to click on it. It's white here, but it shows up black here because this is a black background, right? So it's showing up white here so you can see what it is. But again, you can change the color of any object. Up here are our options for editing graphics. So I can edit the image here, and it's going to give me my suggestions of what I would like to do. There are different filters I can apply to it. I can pixelate it. I don't really want to do that, so I'm not going to click on that. But it can give you some different options here if you want to edit the image itself. You can crop it. Cropping it means you like would cut off certain parts of it and have only part of the image left. You can flip it. So I could flip it horizontally where I don't know that it's gonna show much difference because it's a symmetrical image, but you can flip that way or you can flip vertically. But you can also use these arrows down here again to rotate it this way. The flip is more of like, think of a mirror image, either a mirror image up or a mirror image side to side. The other important thing, and I actually just learned this, and I was so excited because I was like, oh, this is going to be really important for CISV. So we don't want to be posting anything that we don't have permission, like graphics that we don't have permission to use. So if you get a template, your chances are all of it's going to be already approved to use. However, if you add a graphic or anything from Canva, select that object, and this little I is very important, the info. It is going to tell you here that it is free for Canva Pro. That means we have permission to post it to social media accounts, and we won't get in trouble for any copyright or things like that. So you'll want to check to make sure that we have that permission, especially if you're creating like a t-shirt design and you're making money off of a t-shirt design. You want to make sure that it is free and that you don't have to, there aren't any restrictions on that image. So that's very important. Again, here's the colors, so you can change the color. We'll make this one green, but okay, there it is. I thought for a second it went behind all the other things, but there it is. It is green now. So I've changed it from black to green. Here is the border style. There is no border on this right now because there is the no border. If I wanted to put a border around it, it's going to put a border around the very outside of the shape. So like the box shape. And you can change that. You can change how thick it is. That's the border weight here. And then you can change if you want it more rounded or not. So you can round the corners. You can make it thicker or not. And you can change the border style. Again, you can choose to animate it. The position, again, is if you want to send it backwards behind everything, make it in the background, or if you want it all the way in the front. The transparency, and then I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I've never used the copy style before, so I'm not going to comment on that. One other thing that you can do with objects, I'm going to delete this one though, and I'm going to click on the diamond one because it'll be a better one to do this with. But there is this little lock button over here. So you can click lock, and that is going to keep you from being able to move that particular object around. It is going to be stuck there so you don't accidentally move anything. It is locked in place there. To unlock it, you just select it again and you can unlock it, and now you can move it around and edit it. Okay, so that was I'm gonna deselect this for our elements here. So with our elements, we searched and we found the different things there. So text, let's just look at text real quick. We've kind of done this, but there are some other things that we can do there. We can add a text box directly, and then it's going to automatically choose a font that is with your project guide already, the template already. Or you can choose, again, from the brand kit, what you would like. There are different like font graphics that you can search for as well. So maybe I want to search, let's search for meeting. Let's see what we get. Okay, that was a bad one to search for, sorry. Let's search for peace signs again. Okay, so that's going to give me some fonts that have peace in it, and then a font combination, peace, love, peace, and joy. But you can see some different font combinations down here, and you know, like happy birthday, now open. There's some different ones down here. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can search and see what you would like to use. So you can se add for your fonts. But again, these will come up in Elements as well. There are some like that you can search for in Elements. So that is the text. So we'll add a text box here, and it's going to, it's going to start pretty small. And so that's why it can be tricky. And I understand, Julie, why you were confused on how to move it, because it comes very small and it's going to give you the font or the text cursor, and it won't let you move it then. So that is unfortunate and tricky, but we know the trick now and we know how to get around that. So we can just add some text here. I'm going to put check out our upcoming chapter events. Okay, and I'm going to put that right along the top here. And I'm going to select it. And I'm going to change the font to Overpass. And then I'm going to change, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that people can see it easier. And it's automatically adjusting the size of the text box to fit. The only thing that will happen is if you make it too big and it's too long, is it will automatically enter a space in there, a new line for you. So it will do that. I'm going to change the color. We're going to make it blue, and I'm going to make it bold just so it stands out a little bit more. So now I'm going to need to, because I made it bold, I want it in one line. So now I just need to downsize the font a little bit there to make it fit. So there is all of that. If I wanted to, I could, if you click the alignment, it's not really going to give you an option of what you want. You just have to click through until you get the alignment that you want. Because this is so wide, let me make it all the way wide here. So if it were the whole width here and I clicked alignment, it is now going to align to the far left of that. Yes, you can change the line spacing. I will show you that in just 1 second. That's a great question. So this is the alignment, so I can change it. I can change it to the middle, or I can change it to the right. I'm going to keep it in the middle though. You can make a list. So it'll add a bullet for you. And if you keep clicking, it will change it to the numbers if you want to make it numbering. Line spacing, here's where we can add the line spacing. You can also change the spacing between your letters. So if you want a little bit more spacing, or maybe a little bit less, you want a little bit closer, you can change that. And then you can change the line spacing here too in between. So like for the upcoming events, that would probably be a better one to show. A line spacing, I could make it a little bit wider, or I could bring it back. There we go. And so you can change the line spacing. Okay. Let's see, over there. Okay. So we added our text. We've aligned it how we want it. We've gotten the size, the font, the position. We've gotten everything there. So I just like to, before I go on to I just like to click off everything and check and make sure that everything's looking how I want it. And then I can go on to like the next thing that I want to edit. Over here on our navigation bar, we have our branding. So again, if I want to, if I'm ready to add our logo, I can add our logo. I have added just the white ones. So if I added the white ones, I would need to change the background of our event flyer here. So I'm going to change the background now. So I just click so that the outside box is selected, and I'll know that I've selected the background because the background color is up here, and I can change the background color. So I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to make it with the white logo. So maybe I should we'll do this. I'll add some other logos here. I'll upload the black logos because that'll make it better. But you can do like there's different options that you can do for the background that you can add. And then if there's a color on here that you don't see that you would like, you can just move this around to, you slide it on the color line here, and you can see it's changing it as we go. So you can see which color you like for the background, and then you can move this around to the different hues of the colors. gradient, you can select your two colors. You would change the first color to maybe, maybe we want a green one. We'll make that green, and then I would click this and change this to maybe this fun blue. And now I have that. If I want it more than two colors, I can add another one, and it's going to give me another color there. So you can, jazz up your backgrounds if you'd like. And so that's always fun. You can choose different gradient themes. There's different styles. So you can really have a lot of creative control with your Canva projects because they give you so many options for editing things. Okay, so I'm gonna click off of that, and I'm just gonna make it our cobalt color here. But that means I need to change some of my other elements. So I'll change those in just a minute. I want to finish going over the navigation over here on the side for you all. So back to the brand, we have all of our logos here. And you can see all of them. Oops, I went ahead and added the white one. Okay, so we'll add the white one, we'll put it, I believe it goes down here in this corner. And make sure when you're placing your logos, the logo that was updated in 2018 was designed to be split, the picture from the text. So the picture goes down in the left-hand corner, and then the text would go up in the, the picture would go down in the right-hand corner, and the text would go up in the left-hand corner. I do not have that uploaded right now. But I could upload it, and I have uploaded it before. So here they are. So you want to make sure our branding guidelines from the Looking Good guide. Let me find my little arrows here. Where's my little arrows? Let me move it. Okay. You want to make sure that the C's of CISV are about the same size, as close as you can get to the same size. That is what our branding guidelines say, is that if you're going to split the font, the text from the picture, that the C's are about the same size. I cut it off a little bit. There we go. And then in the corner, when you put it, it has to be, hold on. This would be a good time to lock the thing. So now it's not going to move for me. It's not going to get in my way. But when you place something in an image, you want to make sure that the size of the C, that there is size for the C to be, there will be another C right here and another C above it, because we don't want it to be too close to the corner of any image. And so that is our guidelines from International with our logo. So we want to make sure that that would be up there. Now, because I put that there, I'm going to need to move this. So I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to move it down here so that it is out of the way of this. And I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller so that it is not covering up our text from our logo. So then we have our logo. It has been added to it. Now, this is not technically correct because this C down here is smaller than this C up here. So I would need to technically make this one just a little bit smaller, and I could make this one maybe just a smidge bigger. So that way they are about the same size. Okay, so uploads, this is where you can upload files. These are uploads that I have added before. You can see before I added things to our brand kit, I had just uploaded them here because I was already in a project and I didn't want to get out and go back and all that stuff. But you can, and you just add your logos there. It's going to have 3 different categories of uploads that you have uploaded to your Canva. So all of these are just images. I don't think I've uploaded any videos or audio, but you can upload GIFs, other little video clips, and things like that, that you would like to add to your projects. There's also audio if you wanted to add an audio clip to something. So this is where you would upload. Again, you can, if you have like a file open, you can drag and drop it, or you can click here. You can click one of these to download your audio files. You can also, I'm not going to do this, but you can record yourself if you would like to, for anything. I don't know that we would use that feature a whole lot. I don't know, maybe you would, but there is that as well. You can also just click upload files, and it's going to open up your file explorer for your computer, and then you can find, you can search through whatever you need to find and upload that file. And over here, you can see you can connect to your Google Drive. So because you're logged in with your chapter email account, or if you are logged in with your chapter email account, and there are files in your Google Drive, you can just automatically go straight to your Google Drive and download them or get them from there and add them to your Canva. Same with Google Photos. You can also link to your Instagram and add things from there. If you use Dropbox, you can use Dropbox. So it is nice that it will link to other programs and platforms for easy access for you. So you don't have to go to those programs, download it to your computer, and then add it to your Canva. You can just go straight to that program and get it. Okay, Draw. Draw is another feature that you can do. This might be easier if you have a tablet or a touch screen, or like a stylus that you can use on there. If you want to hand draw anything, there are different features. There's the pen, a marker, a highlighter. This is the eraser. This is if you want to just go back to the mouse. So like if you've I have the pen selected right now, but if I want to go back to just being able to use the mouse to select something, I'm going to click on the cursor, and it's going to allow me to select different things if I need to move something out of the way, or if I draw something, for example, and I want to move this now, I would click back on the cursor, and now I can move what I have just drawn. I'm going to delete that though. You can change the color of whatever you're choosing, the pen, the marker, or the highlighter. You can change that color. Again, it's going to give you the colors that are already in the project, the color palette of our brand, and then there's some other default colors here, and you can always search for a new color by clicking the plus button. And then you can change how thick you want the pen to be, or the marker or the highlighter. You can change that width there with it as well. Here you're going to see other projects that have been designed, other designs that have from your profile. So if you want to search for those, you can add those in and add pages to your project. And then apps, you can discover and add other apps to Canva. I haven't played around with this too much. I haven't found it to be necessary, but you can always explore and see what there are different apps that can help you with designing your projects. Okay, we said we were going to, we were on, go back to design. What time is it? Okay, we're doing good on time. Okay, so I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the color of this real quick, and you will see that there's 3 different color blocks that pop up. So there's 3 different colors that are used in this. It looks like 1 to me, but apparently there's 3. So maybe I'll make it orange. Okay, so then that shows me that that is the outline of the object. If I click on this one, okay, you can see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Oops. It's kind of speckled. So then if I want to get it all solid orange, then I need to change all of them to the orange, and now they're all orange. So that, and then I'm going to check to make sure that it's free. Okay, it's free. I can use that little sparkle in there. So that's interesting that sometimes you don't know what the shapes look like, a solid shape, and you want to go change the color. Just make sure you change all the colors with it. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit here. So that's another nice thing. You can zoom. This is kind of random. You can zoom in and out down here along the navigation bar down here. And you will notice along the bottom that it says page 1 of 2. And so I can click and I can go to the next page. There is another page that goes with this. And I imagine this might be like if you want to add some more text, or maybe if you're getting this printed on cards or flyers, you could have like a double-sided thing, because there's no text on this. But you can always add another page and it will give you the same background. You can duplicate the page, excuse me. You can duplicate the page. So if I want to make another one of these, that, you know, I liked this one, but now I have more upcoming events a couple months later, and I want to keep the previous one, I can just do duplicate page, and now it has duplicated the page for me. I now have two of the exact same pages. And again, I can lock this page, so that, you know, everything kind of stays where it is and nothing's going to move around while I'm editing other things. And then now I have this one down here. If you accidentally add a page and you don't want it, you can delete it. No big deal. If you accidentally delete it and you want it back, just hit undo and it'll come back. So a lot of the features I've noticed are very similar to Word documents and Microsoft Publisher. If you've used Microsoft Publisher before, it has a lot of the same features. It's just finding where those features are in Canva and kind of navigating and understanding how those work. Another feature down here at the bottom of the screen, along the navigation down here, is you can do a grid view. So if you have multiple pages, like say you're making a presentation, you can make presentations in Canva. You can click grid view and now you're going to see all your pages here. This, you can move them around, say, nope, I want this to be page 2 and move it to page 2. And you can move it back to page 1, wherever there's that purple bar there that's going to show you where you want to place it in order. Perfect, great question. Naming and organizing projects. So along the top, if you have the video of the people of your Zoom along the top, you might want to drag and drop it to either the side or down just a little bit, because at the top, well, you guys can see my screen. Sorry, that's just my screen. I apologize. Along the top here, it's going to give you the name of the template, and you just have to click there. And we're just going to name it upcoming events. And I'm going to put November, December 2023. And now I have renamed it to that. And so it is now named that. And I can, to find it, you would click on the home icon up here. This is going to stay open because it's like a tab on a browser. So you can have multiple projects open at the same time. They're just like little tabs on a browser. So I'm going to go back to the home page. This is still up, so I just need to close this. And along our navigation on the left here, we're going to go back home, and then we're going to come down to projects. And then this is going to be all the projects that we have ever opened on our accounts. So you can see, you know, I made an end of the year picnic flyer for our chapter. Here is that. And it'll tell you it was a Facebook post, a Square post. Here was where the flyers I helped make for these sessions this weekend. And it just says real estate flyer. That's just the type of flyer that I found. But again, you can always edit the name here if you need to, but this is where you will find your projects. You can store things in folders. So I can move this to a folder. If you have lots of them, if you have, you know, like JB events and you want to put all of your JB events in a folder, if you want to put, you know, selection related flyers in a folder, if you have presentations that you're doing, you can put presentations in a folder. You can organize your projects into folders. You can always search for your projects as well. So you can, when you go to search, again, you would just make sure you select the projects tab, and you can search back through your projects to see and find that flyer, or find something like, oh, hey, I created something similar to this. What was that again? And you can't find it because you've been using it for a while and you have all these projects. You can always search for your projects as well. The other nice thing, I know we're getting close to our 3:30 time. One other thing I wanted to show you with projects, I'm going to go back to the upcoming events project here. I'm going to get off of grid view for a second here. You can put it into full screen if you want to see it like full screen. But the other nice thing is up here next to where we have titled it, it's going to show you that Midwest Ohio is a collaborator on it, and you can add collaborators. So if you hit the plus button, this is like sharing it with Google, like a Google Drive document. You can share it with other people. So you can see like who the owner is. You can add other names. So I'll add, you know, my personal email. Actually, I'm going to use my school one because it has a Canva account. And so I'm going to invite them. Actually, I'm not. This would invite them to all of your projects, all of your team projects that you share with your team. But I'm just going to send this, and I'm going to say that this account can edit my document, my project. Maybe, you know, the JB has created a project and they would like to get approval from the adult board. They can send it where they can comment. And so it's very similar to like sharing Google Docs. Austin, Texas, San Antonio, I will answer that in just a second for you guys. So it's a lot like sharing Google Docs and things like that. You can make it so someone can edit the document, they can add comments, or they can just view it. Adding comments means they can give you like feedback on certain things. Viewing it means they just can see it. They can't change it or add any comments. So like if you want to add a collaborator, you can add them, you can add a message and send it to them. And so now it's going to send it. And because that email address is not on our team, the Midwest Ohio team, I could opt to add them to the team. But if you're just sharing it one time, you don't have to. So I'm not going to add my school account to the program. Okay. So real quick before we go, I will to make your account pro. I'm going to try my best to show you how to do it. Actually, I know where I saved that document. I was looking for it earlier and I couldn't find it, and I saved it to my CISV folder, I'm pretty sure. There it is. Okay, can you guys still see my screen and everything okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I will share this document with everyone, or I'll share it with Laura and she'll send it out with all the documents from this weekend. But this is step-by-step of how you can get a Canva Pro account, which gives you access to all of the features for free. So what you'll need is your chapter email address, and it walks you through step-by-step if you're on a web browser. I did it through the web browser, and so that's where this is what it will look like on the web browser. And so, you know, you'll go through the steps, and the one thing that you need to make sure you have is your chapter's specific tax ID number from the IRS. There is a CISV USA one, and then there is one specific to your chapter. Please make sure you use the one specific to your chapter, and that you use your chapter's .cis or at CISVUSA.org account. It's going to verify your account a lot better than if you use like a Gmail generated account that maybe you just use like for other general things that has like your chapter name still, but if it has that .org email account, it's going to accept it a lot faster and take you seriously. There are IRS documents to prove that we are a nonprofit. You may need to reach out to our National Treasurer, Louise Hardy, to get a copy of these if your treasurer does not already have a copy of them. You will upload all of these things to Canva. Yes, your chapter email is through Google, but the email address is at CISVUSA.org. And so because it has that .org account, it's showing that we're part of an organization, and it goes along with the nonprofit. It's going to line up better with the tax documents and stuff like that. So that's why I just say to use, instead of it being like at gmail.com. So does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Yes. And so then you just upload all those documents, and it takes, you know, a day or two for them to process them. And then they'll let you know that you have Canva for nonprofits. Does anyone have any other questions that I didn't get to or you were curious about? I know that there are several chapters that use Canva regularly that I follow, like their Instagrams. Miami, Florida is one of those chapters, so shout out to them. They do a great job with their social media posts. So, you know, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help answer questions. I do recommend like following other USA accounts to see like how they're using Canva, and you can always reach out to them and be like, you know, how did, you know, what template did you search for this? Or, you know, I'm having trouble with this. You know, we're all one big network of people, and that's what I love about CISV is we're all willing to like help each other with things. So never be afraid to do that. Jess, are certain items required to be approved by CISV USA? Laura, I don't believe so, correct?
No, as long as they're not copyrighted, that's the big part of it that Katie went over. That's super important. We've gotten in trouble before with that. So just making sure that you're checking that info button and making sure nothing is copyrighted.
Yes. One other thing, Canva can be used for more than just like creating documents. You can create video like montages. That was one thing I was kind of watching some of the promos and like some of the things for the new Magic Studio that they have. It will take like little video clips and put them together and create a video for you. So like if you have a mini camp and you have permission from everyone to put their children on, you know, social media, it will like weave them together for you and create like a little video montage automatically. So like AI is really like taking off, as we know. And so that's one of the things you can do, like the magic media. So you can do that. You can also create t-shirt designs. There are so many different things that Canva can do. There's so many different types of like templates, and I mean, just unlimited things that you can find in here that you can do. So it's really neat. There are tons of like YouTube tutorials, help things online as well if you're looking for something. Just wondering about fonts. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can use, obviously we recommend using the guide, the brand guidelines of fonts. But you know, like if you're doing like a special mini camp, I know, again, Miami, Florida is on my mind because I saw their Instagram and I was like, that sounds like such a fun mini camp. They're doing like a Halloween spooky mini camp this weekend. So, you know, they want to use like some spooky fonts in there too. And then maybe some of the other fonts they would use, you know, our brand ones. So, you know, we want to try to make it as uniform as possible to look united and as one cohesive organization. And so that's why we have those brand guidelines. You're welcome. Yeah. All right. Yeah, everyone, you are welcome. I am happy to help get everyone started with this. It is 3:30, so I will hop off and I will let the next presenter get started.
Well, I can't thank you enough, Katie. This has been amazing. Very, very helpful. And as Katie mentioned, we're going to go ahead and after the sessions, I'm recording all the sessions, and so we have that to share out, and I'll share all the other information. But absolutely, thank you so much for your time and your talent today, Katie. We very much appreciate you. So thank you so much. And I think
You're
actually
welcome.
we're done for today, but I hope to see everybody
Perfect.
tomorrow. So again, thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day / evening for whoever is in whichever time zones. And thank you all for attending, and hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.